good evening. Welcome. Yes, we own the rights to that music. It belongs to the people, power to power, positive thing to people, the People Podcast. That's right. Good evening to everyone that's joining in. Welcome. Hope everyone is blessed, safe. It's just, my heart is, I'm torn in two different directions. But I do have a guest going to be coming on a little later on. Miss Tanya Whitaker. She'll be coming on in a few. But I have some things that I want to address, and this is things that really, really matter in our life. And I'm going to just start off really. First of all, we know that things are real serious around us, the way we got to go about things. So I want to talk a little bit about these trials that's going on, right? I'm telling you, this is blowing me. What's happening to us? Where are we with the law, and how are we going about things? That Kyle Rittenhouse trial. Actually, me and T was just talking about that in here, and I was asking T how she felt about it, and even myself, I just felt that it's just ironic that this 17-year-old got off for killing more than one person, more than two people, but actually it was three and wounded one. And from what I understand, this dude he actually drove a car there. He also didn't have a driver's license. He had an automatic weapon, and he didn't even get probation. And so where are we going? What do we tell our children when they do things like this? How do this happen right in our face? I don't understand it. I really it really hurts me, because what we stand for at People to People is about power to power, positive thinking people. We think about us as a group, and I'm a military man, so when we talk about guns and things of that nature, if you watch that trial, I tell you, it's phenomenal how they played it and how he got off. 17 years old, he kills 3 people and wound one. He goes there with an automatic weapon. He goes there where he drove without a license, and he got away with it. My heart is just heavy for the families. Here, it's gotten to the point, like, are we really trying to save our country, or are we destroying it? It's not about just one race in this country. It's about all of us. And this is God's world. This world doesn't just belong to one race of people. I don't care where you was born, how you got there, which river you came up, what mountain you climbed. This is still God's world. And believe it or not, nobody can go on any ground on this earth where they're going to see their name is carved in, that it was given to them by our Father God. They're going to say, this belongs to them, and we got the right to do what we want to anybody at any time, or whatever the case may be. So, I just wanted to bring that up. We still got that other trial that's coming up with the other guy who was killed. He was just running through the neighborhood.
He hasn't had his yet.
No, what'd you say, T?
He hasn't had his trial yet.
No, that trial is still in process.
Okay.
So, it's really funny. But T, how you felt about it?
Definitely was disappointed, but also wasn't surprised. It's just devastating, because, like you said, he could at least got probation. I don't feel like he really took what he did serious.
Switch the camera on you for a minute so they can see who's talking. So go ahead.
Just his consequences. I don't think they really gave him a punishment at all. It really was like.
So you, as a young person, what did that make you feel like?
Really angry. It kind of deep down made me want to be like a prosecutor or attorney, because I don't know, I just don't like that. They really just let him get away with it, and I feel like they looking at it, oh, he's 17, but they don't look at all 17s like that. It's some that didn't do anything, and they had no evidence, and still gave them life or a lot of years.
Yeah.
And here, this guy, you have all this evidence, and it was on footage.
Right.
And you see, and it's just disappointing. So yeah, I was definitely upset about it.
That's what I say. I say, for many people, man, what is it that we telling our young people? What is it? What kind of tomorrow are we trying to prepare for them? I mean, it's funny that, I really don't get it. I don't get it. It makes me scared. Now, understand when it makes me scared. It makes me scared for my grandchildren. It makes me scared for my great-grandchildren. Because I don't want my children, my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren to grow up either thinking that they got to kill people to get ahead or that they got to run from people to save their life. I'm just, and me personally, I will die for this country. I will die to protect this country. I'm a United States Marine. Once a Marine, always Marine. Yes, I'm out of the military right now, but I'm telling you, if it came down to it that I had to go back and my knees all messed up in my back. But if I had to do that to protect this country, I'm going to do that. But to be in this country and to see young individuals get away with killing people, and we already know what it's about. I don't want to get into it because I don't want to stir no negative energy up per se to have somebody go do something wrong. No. But we know if it was a whole different shade of individuals on trial, they would not have walked away. And it's really, really sad. And then for the guy that was running in the neighborhood, jogging, and these guys run up three. We got two guys that come up to shoot him, and one guy videoing it, and they acting like this is nothing. Come on. I mean,
but that is scary,
It is. It's to a point like, what do? We at a point like, I'm telling you, it's sad. It's sad that it got us at this point where, you don't know where you're going to be, how you're going to be,
Because now people feel that they just take things into their own matters. And they say, well, I was protecting myself, or I was protecting the neighborhood.
Which is crazy. But if you're not wearing a badge, you're not a police officer, you shouldn't be in that position to take anybody's life. Yep. I don't think anybody really had the right to take anybody's life. Even when if you get the death penalty, right? What makes you any different from a murderer? When you literally say nobody has the right to take another person's life, I believe that. But when we pass judgment on them and say, well, we're gonna give you the death penalty, that's almost like, you killing too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, T, in your perspective, I'm just looking at from where you are, and how you feel about it. What is it like in this time for you? Are you feeling like, do you feel safe? Do you feel threatened? Do you feel insecure? How are you feeling?
I definitely don't feel safe because, like I said, it just, somebody can really just look at you or think something and feel they can just take matters into their own hand, which is killing. That's really scary and dangerous. I don't feel safe. It makes me want to definitely have more to protect myself. And watch. It's just really scary.
Yeah, well, it's really weird, and where we are today, it's really, really bad for us that we are seeing this happening in this country and the way that it's going. I love everybody. I love all people. I really do, and I don't think anybody had a right to take anybody's life. And if you do commit a crime, then you do the time. I don't care what color you are, what age you are, how tall or small or whatever. If you come to a situation and you bring a gun, you know that when you bring that gun and it's a rowdy situation, in your mind, it's more than 50% chance of you possibly having to use it versus not using it. Because if you bring it, your intent is to say, if somebody do something, I'm going to shoot them. Mm-hmm. So you already thought about it. You thought about it because that's why you bring it. Yeah. I had a couple of situations back in the day when I used to have guns on me, and I know why I brought them. I brought them just to say, if a different person came after me or somebody stepped to me, I'm going to put a bullet in them. Mm-hmm. That was my thought. And this is when I was young. And then when I started to realize my way I was thinking, I was like, come on, Rodney, that's not right. You don't need to carry a gun around with you everywhere you go. If you carry around a gun and you're not the police, you're not the law enforcers, then you are looking to cause havoc with somebody.
So where does it start where young males feel they should always bring it or want to carry a gun and use a gun?
Well, you know what, T, I want, if you switch it back and forth so they can be able to see, because, I want to be able to see who you are.
Oh, yeah, I do. I have it.
Oh, you got it? Oh, you in there? Oh, okay. All right. I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry. So, yeah. So, my thing is that, when it really comes down to it, it's like this. We have to be careful. And young guys, most guys that are intimidated by certain things bring that gun. I've never been a guy that really felt like I had to go everywhere with a gun. Because I was like this, you hit me, I'm going to hit you back. And if you don't hit me, I'm not going to hit you. Mm-hmm. So I'm really not looking to start any trouble. But I ain't going to run from it either. Yeah. Now my point is that most guys that carry guns either bullies or they just ain't got no fight game with them. Mm-hmm. Now if I was going in an area where I know there was 4 or 5 guys that possibly want to jump me, and this was something that was going to be ongoing, then I would probably bring a weapon with me with the intent to defend myself. But that's not something that we want to have people believe that's okay. Can you imagine what some of these young people are thinking about that this 17-year-old got away with murder?
I was thinking the same.
Do you know how many of them, not logically thinking, is going to think, well, shoot, I can do the same thing?
He said a word. They asked him, why did you choose that particular gun? He said because it looked cool. But that's why I said, well, when do they decide all of this? And I feel it's when they're young. Because, they had the toy guns, the video games. That's when they first start thinking it's cool. But that's when adults, parents have to educate them, on these type of things, because it's more than just, oh, it looks cool, Yeah. So they need more of knowledge on how serious these deadly weapons are, because when they looking at the video games, TVs, the toys, that right there is a starter of excitement in their head.
Yeah.
So the older you're getting, when you seeing the real ones, now your mind really get curious.
And you're not afraid of them because you're used to playing with the ones that simulate it.
Yeah. And he said, they say, oh, it's just a video game, but when you're young and the more and more you're playing with that, some people's minds, like I said, that just triggers certain things.
Well, I'm going to give you a prime example. So if you're using a video game and when you shoot the gun and blood pops out from the contact of this is on a video game, right? Mm-hmm. So now your mind is seeing this, right? So if you do it in real life, your mind is not that sharp because it's kind of expecting to see certain things happen. Yeah. So we got to...
He shot one person and he didn't get that freaked out because he used it again. So that's what I said, once some people do it in real life, it triggers a certain excitement. And
I believe, me personally, but this is my opinion, I believe that he's killed before. I'm not saying that he killed a human, but he's killed something before because he didn't have no problem with killing 3 people. Yeah. I don't care what, so that's,
And this normally is a starter, people,
when you're killing some animals, yeah. I mean, I remember the first time I killed the roach. The first time I killed it and I heard the roach pop, it kind of made me squeal,
Everybody get a different effect. Some people can go hunting and it's really just hunting, but if you doing that and it's really exciting you because you're shooting and killing something and you seeing blood, now that's
a whole different story. Okay, we're going to change direction a little bit. I just wanted to bring that up because I was really in my feelings about it. I send my condolences out to, and check this out, understand what I'm getting ready to say. I send my condolences out to the family of the victims, but I also send my condolences out to the family of that boy. Because you know what? They just let go a monster. They created a monster. This boy should have had some kind of public, he should have been reprimanded some kind of way publicly so that other 17 years old would not get in their head that it's okay to do this. And I don't know what happens past that, but I prayed for the whole situation. I do believe that God is in control, and I ask God to have mercy on his soul, because he got to deal with that. Because killing somebody ain't easy. I'm telling you, killing is not easy. I'm telling you what I know. Okay, I mean, I know that I don't care whether it's a dog, cat, or a human. When you take a life of something and you see it stop breathing and it take its last breath, it's not a good feeling. And you have to adapt to mental thinking to be able to handle that. That's why a lot of military guys come home messed up. They don't come home feeling like they superheroes because they had to take another life. It's hard. But I just wanted to throw that out. Another one of my topics today, I'm talking about a few things before my guests get here and bring them on. So I want to talk about family and relationship. We are in a very, very crucial time. Very crucial. With the pandemic, before the pandemic, it was already some issues with the family structure on how we deal with each other. But I want you to think about this. I was born in 1960. And when I walked into a room and there was some adults in there, I knew my place. I knew what to say, I knew what not to say. When they told me to go sit down, it didn't matter what adult said it, I had to do that. It was a sense of structure. My grandparents were like the king and queen, and my aunts and my uncles was like the pawns and the bishops. They were the lower ones in that. We got somebody that's commenting over there.
Yeah, we have a few comments. My big brother, Rev Gotti, he says, what about God? He said, thou shalt not kill, period, lawman or not. That's my belief.
Yeah, hey, you know what, Rev? Hey, bro, that's serious. That's what I'm talking about. Thou shalt not kill. When we think about, when you kill to eat, that's one thing. Because the way that God designed us, we have to eat. And it's almost like a lion. If you go into the jungle and there's lions out there, the lion gonna eat you. He hungry, he gonna eat you, he don't care what you are. Right? Most animals, if they're already full, they're not gonna do nothing to you. They'll let you go about your business. But that is one of the commandments, thou shalt not kill. And it didn't say thou shalt not kill if you was white, thou shalt not kill if you are black, thou shalt not kill if you're female or male, child, or a superhero. It did not say that. Thou shalt not kill. Hey, Rev, that was a very, very, very powerful point, my brother. Very powerful. Now, again, I'm hitting on some. You got something else for me?
Yeah, we have a couple of them. Lisa James. Hey, Lisa. She says, so sad. Angela Gomez. Now you know if it was one of us, there'd be no trail and lock up and throw away the key. Boo Jones says, great dialogue. Angela says, all about white supremacists. So we're just going to welcome a few people on real quick. It looks like we got quite a few people here. Again, Lisa is here. Walter Shepard is here. He says, good evening, Rodney and Zine and PTP family. Troy is here. He says, good evening, PTP family, team, and guests. Angela Gomez is here. Boo Jones, Rev Gotti, Lisa. Again, I said Lisa already. And we just welcome everyone that's on board, that's here.
So we got a couple of hours we need to talk about today. I want to go back, and you can, anybody feel like you want to call in, it's 703-752-6120. Feel free to call in and join in with me on the conversation. But I wanted to talk about family and relationship for a minute. I want to talk about family and relationship. Thinking about the pandemic, what it had it done to the relationships in the family. Knowing where you're positioned at, knowing how you're doing. That the kids disrespecting their fathers and mothers. Kids disrespecting their grandmothers and grandmothers. Kids, I'm talking about structure in your family. We're talking about back in the day, your older brother or your older sister, if they spoke, the younger brother and sister knew to respect them. Now, in some cultures, that's real heavy. But I'm going to tell you, here in America, man, I've seen it just kind of dwindle and almost go down a drain, where the families have lost that communication level or understanding their place. And what has this pandemic done? It got us to the now point we don't even hug each other. We walking up and we elbowing and putting the fists up and stuff. I'm not telling you to walk around and be stupid, but I want to hug my grandchildren. I want to hug my sons. I'm not gonna put myself in no position where, I'm afraid to hug. My mom is 90 years old. God bless her. My mother's 90 years old. I haven't hugged my mother in almost it's going on 2 years, almost 2 years now. 2 years. 2 years, man. And believe it or not, the next time I see my mom, my mom, I know she gonna understand. I'm gonna say, Mom, I need to just hug you. I'm gonna tell Mom, I'm hugging my mom. I hope I don't get in trouble. I just lost my mother-in-law. And during that process, we know we had to deal with the pandemic, but we was right there. But I watched my wife, I watched my sister-in-law, I watched them as they was tending to their mom. It was no time that they walked into the room where they was worried about pandemic. What they was worried about was the love that they needed to give to her. That made the difference. What's happening with our people going into the hospitals? That they dying by themselves. This is crazy. But you know why I'm trying to bring this to your point, to your. I want it up in your head, right in the front, so you think about it. I'm gonna tell you something. Change the way you're loving each other. Show that love. Show that agape love. And stop looking and getting petty over little things, because it's not that important. It's not that important. If you get right now, you get COVID, as they say, and you go into the hospital, you gotta die by yourself. A couple of years ago, when people was in the hospital, when they said it was the last few minutes, they called the whole family in.
And not even one person now?
No, it's only just one person. Now they in some cases, because with my nephew who passed away on February 26th of this year, God bless Greg. So man, I miss my nephew, and it was hard. I wanted to go see him. I wanted to be with him. They allowed his mom and his dad and his sister, but his uncle wanted to be there too. But because of this pandemic and everything, we got to the point that, you know what I do, how I can carry him with me? I have a band on my arm right here, right now, that from his memorial service, that I'm never going to take off, that I keep with me. That's my last hug. Every time that I feel depressed or I start to feel bad and I think about him, I just touch it. But I wanted to hug him. Where are we? Where are we? Family, family, we got to get back to the point where, come on, we got, something is so bad now, somebody cough, you be looking at them.
Or sneeze.
Or they sneeze. Ain't no God bless you. They be like, get away from me.
God bless you no more.
Come on.
Hey.
It's sad.
People scared to say God bless you.
They looking at you like, yo, I've been coughing for the last 15, 20 years. I have bronchitis, right? Yeah. I'm not supposed to smoke cigars, okay, but I do, okay? And I don't smoke them all the time, but that's part of the reason why I cough. And everybody that know me, they know that. My wife gets on me all the time, she don't want me to do anything that I'm really not supposed to do, but some things, I do for the pleasurement of my own desires, that it ain't hurting nobody else. But now, when I'm getting ready to cough, I'll be like, I'm trying to hold a cough because I don't want the people next to me to hear me cough, which is a natural thing. Where are we? Where are we letting this whole thing? And let me tell y'all something. In this, we talking about family and relationships. We need to get back where we understand where we are. We got to get back where, know your position. I have I have 3 older sisters. Right? And in that situation, I respect them. No, actually, let me see. So I got 4. One of them I call my sister. She's really my sister-in-law. But I have 4 older sisters. And if they fuss at me, I don't cuss at them. I don't say nothing. I might get my feelings hurt. I might not say nothing to them, but I don't disrespect them. I remember one of my older sisters called me because of something my mom told I did, and she called me and did before she got right on the phone. Rodney, blah, 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 blah. You know, this and that. And I was like, okay, all right. And then when she finished, she said, what happened? And then I told her, and she said, oh, okay. And she said, you know I love you. I said, yeah, I know. But guess what? I didn't get mad at her. I didn't talk back to her because I know my position. That's my older sister. So when she told me that, and she get on, that's how I am. I believe in the structure. Really, I have one brother, right? I have never, ever, now, I ain't gonna talk on his end, I'm talking on my own. I've never outright disrespected my brother. I never outright cussed at him. I never outright did anything to disrupt my position as his younger brother. Because of my belief and the way I was raised. I got a couple of cousins that are older than me that's like brothers to me. One of my cousins, I remember, I'm not going to call his name out, he was living with me. And we had a little kind of altercation over something that involved some finances and a living situation. And I told him, yo, don't come, to the house. Well, he came anyway. And when he came, I love him, I can't call his name. When he came, it wasn't nothing I could do. He's my older cousin. He raised me. And he looked at me, and during the time, like I said, it was something between, and he looked at me and said, cuz, and I was like, man,
It's funny how, you're older and you still have that respect.
Yes!
Yeah, it's like, dang, he raised me. But, some people think, oh, no, I'm grown now. I'm such
oh, no.
Now,
I would never do that to my older cousins.
That's what I said, it shows how you still have that respect.
Yeah, and let me tell you something. I'm a fighter, right? When I say that, meaning don't hit me, I'm gonna hit you back. If one of my cousins, one of my cousins or any of my elders come to me and they reprimanded me, and especially if I'm wrong, I'm not gonna disrespect them. I'm gonna suck it up. Even with my mom. My mom is 90 years old. My mom has said some things sometime in her life that has hurt my feelings. I'm talking something with, not long ago. But I ain't gonna go back and disrespect her to a level where I can't look at her and tell I love her. I'm not gonna do that. So let me move on. Family relationship was something that was one of my topics. My other one is social media. I want to talk about social media. Let me tell y'all something. We need to start putting these things down. These right here. These cell phones, and shutting the computers down when we got family time. We have gotten to the point that social media takes up a lot of our time. Now, listen what I'm saying. My wife just looked at me over here. I said that, babe, go ahead, look back up. That's the look she gave me. Because, babe, sometimes we have problems when we go to bed because what? Z. Sometimes
we have problems when we go to bed.
Because of what?
The phone?
Yeah.
Of course.
I mean, sometimes
just people calling, texting, or just being on social media.
Babe, you don't really have to put that all the way up to your mouth, because
I'm not.
So, but no, you know what happens? It'd be sometimes I'm playing this game on there. I got this game I'll be playing.
Oh my
and
goodness.
if she takes too long in the shower, I'm in that mug and I'm just going at it, bro. Me and the phone. And then I go from the game to Instagram.
He loves.
And then I go from Instagram
to YouTube.
To Twitter.
To Twitter and then to YouTube.
I mean, then I go TikTok. And then I'm from TikTok to Facebook. And then by that time, she rolling her eyes at me because I done offended her for our personal time.
Yeah.
Also think about our kids. We was talking about that situation with that young guy. You know, how you think that he learned about guns and stuff like that? I'm sure his parents, somebody taught him how to shoot.
Mm-hmm.
He learned enough to shoot.
And he's 17, he had probably already know about maybe 7 years old.
He already knew how to use that rifle. But you know something? You can go on social media. I seen my grandsons on there with these war games where I'm talking about they can maneuver and roll. They know what weapons they can get. They know what the weapon will do. The weapon, it'll show you if the weapon will be able to pierce a car, blow down a house, or blow somebody's leg off.
And that's Call of Duty.
Call of Duty. That's right. And believe it or not, social media has taken to start raising our children. You know, you got to watch it.
They even got the headsets where they talking to people they don't even know.
They talking to people they don't even know.
You know, it's grown and young people on there.
And social media has gotten to, that's where we got a lot of the perverts and stuff come in too.
There was a guy before, he was playing a game and talking to people, but he knew how to do like cyber type of things where he would set people up and get the SWAT team at their house saying that they're going to do like explosions and stuff. That was like a big case like some years ago. But
and this was a young kid.
Like another 17-year-old.
Yeah.
He just stayed on computers and games all day, and he thought it was funny to prank people with SWAT teams with guns, and one guy really got shot. He didn't know why they was at his house. Some people didn't know what it was. He just would use people's address, and he would tell the cops that it's coming from that address where they're going to do an explosion. He'll change his voice and say it, and he would put their address, and a guy actually died from that.
I mean, it's really, really sad.
Social media, people, because the games you can go live and show them live. So they would see the SWAT team, you know, popping up on people live on social media.
Mm-hmm. Hey, much respect to you, my brother Troy. I just saw, I heard that bing go off into the Cash App. I said much respect to you for the donation. We asked for donations to the People to People program, RG, the $ RG 1960. I appreciate that. Much love, man. I appreciate it. And for everybody else out there, you know, believe me, this is how we survive. You know, we're going to keep surviving, but that's not what this is about. I got to stay on point where I'm going right here. That social media is important. Think about it. Make them kids put them phones down. When your grandchildren come in there, take them phones from them. Give them that agape love that God gives us. Get them and hold them in your arms and show them some love and talk to them. Teach them. Find out where their head's at. Let them tell you what they thinking right now. How they feeling about the things that's going on, because it's so important. We got to get that social media type thing. Don't let the social media raise our children. We have to raise them.
That's why they don't know how to really express themselves.
That's how they don't.
They think that's how to express
right.
themselves.
Half of them don't. They be like, if they want to talk to me, then what they do is text me. I want you to call me.
Right.
I want you to talk to me. I don't want my grandchildren texting me. No, you call me.
And it's something that most of them, the generations now, that it's what they prefer.
Right, to text. You know why? Because they don't have to deal with the real emotions of when I say, no, you didn't earn that, so you don't get it. They don't want to deal with the real structure of what we need to teach them to survive in this world.
The easy way.
They want the easy way.
The text is the easy way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling y'all. And go back. And remember these topics that I'm talking about. Family and relationship. Get back to the point where you're showing respect for your elders. Get to the point where people are doing what they're supposed to do to show love, where, you know, you can go into your homes and feel respected. You know? Here, I got some young people in my family don't have no problem with talking no smack to some of their elders. Back in the day, if you did that, you get your teeth knocked clean out of your mouth. Now they think it's okay. When they don't realize, let me tell you something, you reap what you sow. Whatever you put out gonna come back to you. And believe it or not, some of you can do that and talk to the wrong one, and you will get your teeth still knocked out your mouth. Because some people from old school is said, I brought you into this world, and I'll take you out. And when they say that, that's because they love you. Because they're trying to establish something to you. People that love you, they're gonna let you know when you really, really hurt them, that goes deep down into the core. It goes deep down into the core. Get back to family. Please, y'all. Get back to hugging and loving each other. Wash your hands. Make sure you get your shots. Make sure you're going to the doctor. Make sure you're not carrying anything around. Let me tell y'all something. Do you know, we think about COVID, but what about before COVID came? When you had the flu or a cold? What did you do? You treated yourself and you moved on. Now you got people looking, talk about they're scared to move next to you. This is crazy. Something to think about. Now, I talked about the family relationships. I talked about social media. I want to talk about some mental health. How many of y'all going through it? Mental health problems, depression, suicidal thoughts. Do you know that being locked up in the house and not being around people, what it does to you? It takes something out of you. We have a lot of us that we can't even hug each other. And we need that. We need to show love to each other. You know how many people, let me tell you what happened. See, I don't want to tell nobody else's business, but I can talk about my own. A few days ago, last week, I walked into my mom's house, and my mom was crying, okay? And my mom was crying because she was dealing with the fact that she lost a grandchild this year. This is my mom's first grandchild she ever lost, and in my immediate family, this is really, this was our first individual that we lost out of our immediate clan, right? And my mom was crying, and I looked at her and I said, man, my mom hadn't had time to even get any help. And this is doing something to her. So when I left out, I felt that energy. But luckily, I have a life coach. I have a therapist, which is a psychiatrist that I talk to. And I have several friends that I call and talk to. Sharon, if you're out there, thank you, babe. Tina, thank you. These are some of the people that I can call when I'm really, really struggling. And then some of my family members. But that mental health is serious. Because I went to my office and I was at work and nobody was around in the building. I was pretty much there by myself, and I had an emotional breakdown. Tears just started coming out of my eyes, and I had reached out and called several people. And so one of the individuals that I called was my son, my oldest, and I call him Boss. And I was talking to Boss, and I was telling him, he said, "You all right, Dad?" And I said, "No, I'm not." I was emotionally overwhelmed. My wife just lost her mom. We haven't had no counseling. My wife haven't had no counseling to deal with that. My wife had a major breakdown this morning. The only reason why I'm saying that because she left out the room. But she did. Luckily, we had a good friend of ours that was thinking about it and called her and talked to her. Mental health is serious. And you got to go seek help. If you're thinking about suicide, let me tell you something. There's some things that's against God's law of life, and that's taking your own life. You don't want to do that. But I'm going to tell you, I've been there, they've tried it. I know what it's like. I know what it's like. Get some help. Find somebody to talk to. When you're feeling depressed, call that person that you know that's not going to be judgmental and let them know how you feel.
What if somebody don't know if they're dealing with depression? What are some signs or symptoms that you think?
Well, some of the symptoms is, and I'm not a doctor, I'm just telling you from my experience. When you wake up in the morning and it's a beautiful day and the sun is shining, but you don't want to get out the bed. Or when your family members around and you don't really want to be around nobody, you want to be by yourself. Or you find yourself that you're crying for no reason. You know, or you don't want to eat.
Just a lot of downness.
Yeah. Or you're feeling like it's hard to sleep. It's hard to communicate. You know, depression, man, that mental health, and it comes in all kind of ways.
Yeah, because I feel a lot of people deal with mental health. Everybody just deal with it differently.
Yeah.
Some can hide it more. Some it comes out a little bit more. Some stay busy. Some don't. You know, everybody go about it just different.
And this is the funny thing when you're dealing with that mental health. See, a lot of people don't know how it affects different people. See, you got some people that dealing with mental health issues, they lash out at people.
Yeah.
Why this guy always hitting people? You know, he got some mental problems.
Yeah.
Why this guy cuss all the time? He got some mental problems. People, it affects people in all kind of ways.
Even some that don't show it, the nonchalant, that's to not express no type of emotional feeling, that's also.
There you go.
Because like I said, those are the ones that they let theirs out more. And they have some where it's like, it's just numb.
Can you imagine, now, and I'm talking as a black man in America, can you imagine how many of us really need some therapy?
Mm-hmm.
They should have this in the schools.
Yeah. Because whether you can function or not, it's still bad because you have to know how to balance it. You're going to go through your emotions and feelings anyway, you know.
Yeah.
But you want to know how to still just how to cope with it, you know, and deal with it in situations and everything. Because like I said, some people just try to hide it, which is not healthy. And some people just go to anything, and which is also not healthy.
It's something that we need to be aware of. I'm trying to tell you, you know, if you're out there, you're dealing with mental issues, it doesn't make you a bad person. It doesn't make you a bad person to be able to call someone and say, I need you. That I need somebody to tell me they love me. I need somebody to hug me. Mm-hmm. You know, when you have different people in your family, some of them, they struggling really, really hard trying to maintain, and it's rough. Especially when you're afraid to tell somebody. Do you know that
somebody said that too?
Huh?
I think somebody said that too in the comments. You know, most people are afraid.
Yeah, a lot of people are afraid. A lot of people are afraid to fess up and say that, you know, they got issues. You know, or they feeling a certain way. That they thinking about suicide. That they feeling like don't nobody love them. That they feel like they can't accomplish something. You know, I mean.
Didn't you just say they should teach it in school?
Yeah.
And they should, because everything that's going on in the world, especially all the negative, the toxic, that stuff, that's mental. You're not going to think or do certain things like that if that's not where your mindset is, or if you're not feeling that way inside.
Right.
You know, that's a mental thing.
That's a mental thing.
If you're not getting it checked in and checked, you know, or talking to someone about it, then now you're trying to go about it in your own way. And a lot of us do that, and it's a lot of times we're not choosing the right way.
That's right.
Because we don't know, and it's like, who's talking about it? We don't really know about mental health until you get older. But a lot of us are dealing with stuff that's from our childhood.
Yeah.
And then it builds its way up as you get older.
And that's when you start to find yourself really not being able to cope with it.
And it's so sad because a lot of people that's doing the evil things in this world, because see me, because I like to study behavior in my own time, a part of me is sad because it's like I just wonder whoever was around them, who was really paying attention to them. Because I feel like there's always some type of little sign. Whether it's isolating themselves away from people or, you know, I don't know. It's always some type of little sign, but we just got to pay attention more.
We do.
Especially at home, you know, with our kids and everything, because that's where I feel it starts. And when they get older, you know, you navigate in life how the best way you feel you know how.
Yeah. And
that's a lot of people just give up, and you're not gonna. You only can hurt somebody unless you're feeling hurt inside. That's
so true.
Mm-hmm.
That's so true. We got to be careful. We have to be real careful on how we go about helping people and what we do to them and how it comes across. Because I'm gonna tell you something. It's when we dealing with mental health, and there's people who are literally out here struggling and trying to survive, and and they're afraid to call somebody. I tell you, I'm going to kind of keep going. I got a couple more things I really wanted to bring across to you. Remember, family and relationships, come on now, y'all got to work on it. You got to work on that. We also got to work on that social media, how we allowing social media to dictate to our children. We got to work on that, making sure that our grandchildren are knowing about love, family, structure. Something instead of letting the phone teach them about how to play tic-tac, how about getting them and teaching them how to handle credit and how to invest and get to a point where they understand about personal values. Women, teach your girls about not having sex at a young age. Get them where they understand that, yeah, that's a part of life, but give them the foundation. Don't let the phone and the television teach them, because then you'll find them having sex, a 15-year-old having sex with a 50-year-old because the social media made them think that was something that's appropriate. Think about all these things. Some of these things we can't be scared to talk about. Yeah, I want to go to another little area. I have in my notes also life after death. How are we deal with that? Do you know that in this day and time that we still, people after you die, you still got to pay? That's crazy. People die, and it's not about you burying your loved ones, but you got to pay. You got people calling you talking about where they owe this, or they had a car and they want you to sign. They want you to sign your name on it, or we get to a point that we don't let people transition and let all of what was in their lifetime transition with them. We got the bill collectors coming after us. All of these things are things we have to think about. And think about being prepared for it too in this day and time. It's so important. You need to prepare for that. You're not promised tomorrow. You're not promised tomorrow. A lot of people not paying attention to it. We got people dying left and right. Nobody don't have no money to bury them, and everybody want some money to put them away, and they ain't even going to be able to come back and tell you thank you. They can do it spiritually, but they ain't going to do it physically. I had a conversation with somebody today. They asked me, do you really think it's a heaven or hell? To be honest with you, to be real honest with you, it's my belief that tells me, but I couldn't put my life on it. I can't tell you what hell is like. I ain't never been there. How we know really that they went to a better place? You tell me who really came back and told you or showed you. We say they went to a better place because of all the drama and the trials and tribulations that we deal with today in this life, this physical life. But yet we'll say, oh, they're in a better place. Did they come and really tell you that and show you? Because if they did, I want you to, you really need to let us know so we can get better prepared. We really got to go there. Life after death. You got life and you got death. Life, we can call your next door neighbor and say, yo, your dog poo-pooed in my yard. You can call your aunt and say, you know what, I don't like what cousin Stan did to me. But after they transition into another level, what you got for me?
Lisa, she's here. She says, it's a lack of love for one another, a lack of respect for humanity, it's a lack of fear for God.
Well, you know what? That is, and that's where we got to go back. Everything that I'm talking about today kind of tie in with each other. I want to move a little faster. I got a couple more things because I got my guest that came in, and I can't wait to get her over here to talk about what she has to bring to the table. She's a phenomenal woman that's doing some real powerful things, and I'm just so excited to have her in here. So we talked about life after death. Also, we talked about networking and supporting. Okay, networking and supporting. That's really, really something that we got to also get better at. supporting each other, helping each other. Putting it to a point where, understand this. If you have a business, and I have a business, right? And your business is across the street from me, we should look at each other and make it so that both our business connect so that we can grow together. That's building. See, if you trying to hope my business go down so that your business can be on top, you just cut down the traffic of the people coming. If they're coming into the successful business across the street, they're going to look over there and they're going to say, what they doing over there? They go over there too. And if y'all working together, you build. And yet a lot of people don't want to help somebody because they're scared they're going to get a Mercedes-Benz before they get one. Or a new house. You got to get past that. We got to build. Now, you know what? You already know how it is in America. We already know it. Some things I don't even have to say. It's self-explanatory. But I'm going to tell you what. I tell you, a lot of people better learn how to change the way they're going about things and stop worrying about pulling each other down and keep lifting people up. We got to work on it. Y'all know you know who I'm talking to. We got to work on supporting each other. My last one is understanding finance. Understanding finance. How many of us are really taking the time to teach our children about how to manage money? Knowing about credit cards, knowing about investing. That's very, very important. We got certain people that's owning all the property because they're being taught that at a young age. Now let me tell you something. I'm speaking from a black man perspective, growing up in Old Town Alexandria, growing up in a black neighborhood. Let me tell you some things that I didn't have no problem learning about. Sex, marijuana, cigarettes, throwing rocks at people. I'm talking about as a child. I'm just saying. How many of us, if you go back and think, but some of these things was just easy to pick up on. Because a lot of times we weren't being taught these things. Then you go into another neighborhood and you find out that these people in there, at a very young age, they have a credit card that they're being taught how to use them and how to navigate through life using it and not abuse it. A lot of us grown. I did it. I got a credit card for $5,000. And me and my wife was on our honeymoon, and I thought I was rich. My wife said she wanted it, I said get it. Not thinking about what we got to do when we get back. I wasn't thinking about that credit card, what's going to happen when I couldn't pay that bill on time. And let me tell you what happened. As soon as I came back, after spending that $5,000 on that credit card, my car broke down. My car broke down. I didn't have the money to go and get the car fixed, which was a recall. And I'm not going to get into it real heavy, but if I had just knew how to manage myself a little better, I could have saved myself. One of my cousins said, learn how to save money so money will save you. Learn how to save money so money will save you. Learn how to use your credit so your credit will be a tool and not a downfall in your future. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I had to take that time to be serious. What you got for me, Lady Z?
Lisa says, yes, Rodney, so right. These are some of the signs. Yes, these are some of the signs to pay attention to. And you touch on the feelings of rejection or people looking down on you because you are having mental issues. Yes, supporting one another. Yes, money management.
That's right. I got my guest in the house. I'm going to ask her, come on over here. Miss Tanya, can you just ease yourself over into the hot chill over here, please? If you come on, and at my text over there, they'll take care of everything else they got to do, and you just come easy. She just is, man, ooh-wee, boy. I'm telling y'all, she's my sister. Don't think y'all going to take my sister. Yes. So, this is Miss Tanya Whitaker. I said that about 9 times. I said that 9 times. And
He's been practicing.
I've been practicing so I can say it right. But let me tell y'all something. God is good. This woman here is an amazing woman.
Yes.
I really, let me say this, and I want you to know this. I'm saying this publicly, that God is good because you are a blessing into my life.
Thank you.
That's real. You have come into my life through my wife, and my wife has got not just a friend but a sister.
I feel the same way.
I know you do. I watch how you take care of them and look after them. I just wanted to really say that that I appreciate you so much. You know, I do a lot of things as well, and I know a soldier when I see one. And we got male and female ones. That you're a true soldier, and I just thank God for you. So, with that said, can you tell a little bit about yourself?
Where do you want me to start? In reference to what?
Okay, first I want you to know just who you are. You know, where you from, where you was raised, and you know, just some of your morals in life.
Well, I am a true DMV person. I was born in D.C. I was raised in Maryland, and I now live in Virginia. So, true DMV. I mean, this is my heart. This is, and this is my passion. So I've gotten to see a lot of dynamics, a lot of people from all walks of life. So it spans the whole gamut. From when I grew up, from high school, it was a predominantly white school. To I used to be Capitol Police, right? So I got a chance to see the political arena. I got to witness a lot of racial segregation. It just spans the gamut, right? So, and then it speaks to how I feel about people. So that's why I do what I do on the side. But I'll wait for you.
Yeah. No. So because just to let some of our people know, Tanya is a giver. You are a giver. You do several things. So one of the things that I know that you do is you work with a foundation that helps people, right?
Yes. So it's twofold. One, I work with a nonprofit called Transcontinental Empowerment Corporation, where we give away food, right? On the other side, through all of that, what I've seen, I had been working on starting my own nonprofit, which is called Skills Today, Advance Tomorrow Development Center, right? Just to tie these two things in. So I told you I used to be a police officer. I used to be Capitol Police for 15 years. Now I work for I work for education, the Office of State Superintendent of Education, where all the industry recognized credentials come through me, where I've been able to see a student or a child go from not having a job, not knowing what they're going to do in life, to making more than their parents, right? So the trajectory is sustainability, right? Through food, I can always feed you. But my goal is for you to feed yourself.
Right.
Right? It's for you to give back. And so one of my favorite, and it escapes me his name right now, and I apologize. My favorite portrait is He Ain't Heavy, He's My Brother. And it's Hand Hope bringing up another one. And it started in Vietnam, but, and so there's been many variations of this poster. But that's my mantra. That's what I live by. You're not heavy. You're my brother. So I don't see myself giving someone else, a stranger, something. What I see is humanity. What I see is I'm giving my brother, my sister something. I'm giving them, I want to give them their dignity back. You know, so many times these social arenas, they steal their their identity. They steal their integrity. You know, they're made to make their children worship the government as opposed to the parent. You know, like, oh, my parent couldn't do this. The government had to step in. You know, whether it's WIC or whatever it is, and not to say that they don't need that. What I'm saying is, we want to do it with anonymity, so that you keep that pride, that your kids are able, or whoever's depending on you, can still say that, no, it was this. This is that person is more important than what is being given, right? So, and I'm sorry if I just.
No, I'm sitting here. I'm enjoying it because I know. I wanted you to do that. I wanted people to see who you are. This is who you are. You are all of that. You're that person. Since I've known you, and I haven't known you a whole year, but it seemed like a lifetime.
It does.
And I'm actually, let me tell you, for what I do here, people to people, right, is what you do. I help people. I open the door to get the information out, and I do it with no kind of malice where I'm looking to say that you got to pay me.
Right.
I do this because this is who I am. I do this because I am my brothers and sisters' keeper. I do this, and it don't matter black or white.
Exactly.
It's yellow, green, whatever color you want to be. I am my brother's keeper. I am my sister's keeper, and I know that this is something that's who you are. I've watched you. I've seen you where you bring joy into people's life. You bring joy, but you bring structure, and you're giving them to some point where everybody is like, you know, they are starting to say, man, this is a good feeling, you know, where we are making things happen, you know. So when you was going on, and I'm just listening to you because I know you do a lot of things, you know, I just was sitting there, man. I just want the audience to know that this woman that's sitting here right here is a phenomenal female that we need so many more like you. So now, with one of them is basically your business, right?
Yeah, Skills Today, Advance Tomorrow. So Stat DC, in short, my big audacious goal is it will be the #1 nonprofit in the world. Because there is no place that you can name that does not need sustainability. Excuse me. So, and so some of the things that are programmed out is not only industry recognized credential, and so we have 2 classes. One is going to escape me because I don't remember the name, but one is a FIOS class that upon completion, they're guaranteed $60,000. The IT class, once they can pass the background check, it's $95,000, right? So we're talking about high wage, right? And getting you in and changing the trajectory of your life. But not only that, it's food, it's furniture, it's clothing, it's rental assistance, and hopefully transportation. So it's a whole wraparound service to get you to the point that you would then give back, come back, volunteer, and bring the next person.
Right.
He ain't heavy, he's my brother.
Yes.
That's the whole goal. And there's some bumps in the road. I mean, this morning I was on the phone all day with some officials trying to secure some places because we have to move some, do some shifting, right? We need some trucks, XYZ, but that's still not going to stop me. So I'm Team Jesus all day.
That's powerful. That's what also to some of our watchers, if you have access to a location where we can have the opportunity to continue to do that food drive, that's what we call it, right?
Yes, the food drive. So remember, there's 2 different things.
Right.
So yes, there's always going to be it's not a food drive because we have the food.
Okay.
Food is not an issue. Giving it away is sometimes the logistics of it.
Right.
But we want to add in StatDC is collaborative partnerships.
So, because one of the things that I'm looking to do, and I want to, make sure that I'm in where you're going. I'm looking to establish a studio where people are going to be able to come in, and it's not going to cost them an arm and a leg to talk about their business and the projects that they're working on and those type things, right? If you had someone who had the real estate to provide to you, how much space would you need?
That's interesting. So, again, like I told you, I'm already the largest nonprofit in the world. So I'm already there. So now I have to step back and say, okay, what can I take and then build?
Right.
So I don't want to put limits on that.
Right.
Right?
So
the bigger I have, the more I can do.
Right.
And so, just so that you understand, I mean, you've been there. I had the entire Macy's, right? So from going from a Macy's department store to telling something, so that was over 100,000 square foot, to say, oh, well, I only need 15.
Right.
I don't want to limit, I really don't want to limit God. So, and what I do know is that because I am a 501c3, that the donations, someone can donate that time or that space or whatever they want to donate, and it's a complete write-off.
Right.
Right? So there's a give, and I'm not looking for a handout. I'm looking to give out. So let me help you.
Well, that's part of what I was talking about earlier when I was talking about supported networking. See, we got some people out there that have property, there's nobody doing nothing with them. And what they would need to do is you take that property and give it to individuals like this young lady here that's going to be out doing some things to help mass people in a large area. So.
Oh yeah, so that's why I said I'm looking at collaborative partnerships. So, for example, right now what we do is every Thursday we give away approximately $300,000 worth of food. So we're not on a small scale. This is not some canned food and send you on your way, right? This is high quality, sustainable food, organic food. This is major, and so we touch all food groups, even to your snacks, even to your dog food and your cat food, right? Yeah. We spread the whole gamut. However, we want to be able to expand that and touch more people. So when I talk about collaborative partnership, I would then partner with another nonprofit of a subset of group that I have no clue to. So that day, I would just give them that food and let them, let this ball keep rolling.
Right.
Because I have access to it that a lot of people don't. And I'm willing to share that. And that's what I'm saying. It's all about a sharing network. Sometimes we are crabs in a pot.
Yeah.
In a barrel. No. Then we're going to just keep pulling each other down. Again, I'm going to keep saying it. He ain't heavy. He's my brother. So I'm going to give you what you can't get. You give me what I can't get. And then together, there's when I was a police officer, we used to train, and they used to do this one thing called an Indian run, right? And it was interesting. I hated it, back then. But you had to run, and then the person at the end would have to run to the front, and you had to keep running so that there was no one left behind.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And so, again, I live by that. Like, we run in a pack, we stay in a pack, we all win together. I've always told my friends, my sisters now, that I don't want to do this alone. I don't want StatDC to ever, so someone would say, oh, that's Tanya, right? I want it to be so blanketed that they say, no, that this is just an organization. And just to give you when someone says, oh, she wants us to be the largest, do you remember how American Red Cross started?
No, I don't.
It was one nurse. One nurse and a wounded soldier. It's $1 trillion business right now. One nurse and
that's powerful.
Yes.
I mean, I want y'all out there to think about that. it never even crossed my mind to check. One nurse just helping somebody put them in a position that Red Cross is all known all over the world.
All over, just because someone cared. Because that's all it takes, is you just gotta care.
I don't mean to cut you off, but that's people to people. I'm trying to tell you, we care. People to people, power to power, positive thinking people. That's why I have this young lady sitting in here. You personally are gifted because with your giving, you make people want to give too. With your spirit, I watched how you worked around people. I watch your navigation. I'm military, so I know that you can't win a war without a squad, without an army behind you. You know what I mean? And so I watch how you lead everybody into this group of saying, okay, come on, we're going together, not individually saying I'm going by myself.
Exactly.
And that's what I watch how you do. You're very good at it. I even pay attention sometimes when the energy around, you already paid attention to the energy, and then you'll break it up and you'll take it and shift it in another direction. And the negative part of it got pushed to the side when all you got now is your positive.
Oh, exactly.
So I'll be paying attention. I'm paying attention. That is so powerful. So again, with your organization, you need space, but you need bodies too, correct?
Eventually. So there's a lot of money out there, right? The goal is to navigate to it. How do you bring some legitimacy? How do you, and so sometimes you have to have a physical location. You have to have some things already in place, right? Most of it we have. I have it. I'm ready. Someone, as a matter of fact, your wife told me one time we were talking about it, and she said, Tanya, I would work for you for free. I said, absolutely not. My goal is not to have volunteers, but paid staff, because I know that there's money for that. I know that there's grants for every single thing that we're going to do, that we're going to touch these people, that COVID, everyone is, it's unfortunate that COVID did take some people away from us. But on the spin, COVID also opened our eyes to some different possibilities.
Right.
So, to opening some doors that we never thought that we could walk through. And my goal is to pandemic-proof your income. That's all I care about. Like I said, I do industry-recognized credentials, CTE in my professional, and so career and technical education for, if you didn't know. However, that's for one subset group, right? And when you call for, if your air conditioning goes out, right? So we know that everyone's not going to go to college. Or they might not be ready, whenever later, XYZ. However, if you call because your air conditioning went out, and Michael and Son shows up, you don't ask them what college did they go to. You just want to know that they can do the work.
Right.
Right? And my goal is to get it out there to everyone to say that industry recognized credential will open doors. Will open any door that you want to go through. Right? I don't care if it's to be a barber, and then later you take that industry recognized credential and open up your own shop. So we always tease. I always tease. So career and technical education, there's 16 clusters. And I was given a presentation for work, and I said, can you tell me some job that isn't career and technical education? And someone said, a council member, right? And I said, that's law and public safety. And so someone tried to be funny and say, a prostitute. I said, that's hospitality and tourism. Doesn't matter. So I'm trying to break the misnomer. When we were younger, it was called vocational school. And they told us, if you went to vocational school, that meant you couldn't make it upstairs in college. So it's to blur those lines, to take that away, to say that there is not one job, I don't care what you're doing, that does not fall in those 16 clusters. You know, if you are a CNA nurse right now, or that's health science. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that you're not a doctor. You're still in that cluster, you know. So that's my goal, is to bring education, to enlighten, and to bring people to their financial goals, whatever their financial goals are.
And it doesn't mean that people have to be rich and famous. It just means that you get to a point where you help one another. You know, one of the things that I strive so hard to do with the People to People program, and that is to help get the information out for different businesses, and for people who are trying to get exposure. And when we talk about the finance part of it, a lot of times people shy away. Mm-hmm. But you know that it's required. You know, it's a finance that's needed to go to a certain level. And so when we come out, it's not begging. We're not saying, oh, please help me, because we're going to do it regardless.
Oh, we're going to do it.
We're going to do it. And there's a lot of other people out there like us that's givers, not takers. And when we start to come together, because, see, now you are part of the People family. See, so anytime that you got to get your message out, you have a seat right there.
I appreciate it.
You see what I'm saying? And we're getting ready to be one of the biggest podcast networks in the world as well.
Exactly.
See, so
you have what you say you have.
Yes.
Right? And so I'm a firm believer.
Yes.
Every morning I wake up and I say I'm a money magnet. Favor is looking for me.
Yeah.
Someone is looking to call me.
And that's what's happening with us. And I know that. That's why you sitting here. That's why we connected. That's why the people that we social with, I'm talking about, we got other people in the studio, as people see. I got T over there, Lady Z over there. And I'm going to tell you something. We are gravitating to each other. I'm just really so honored that you came out. I'm looking forward to the things that's going to happen in the future. I'm a part of your team too. So, you know, I just know that we got a lot of things to teach each other. I tell people, my wife told me the other day, don't use this terminology when I say I'm a thief. So I usually say that meaning that I'm a thief, that I love stealing knowledge. You know, and I shouldn't use the terminology. So babe, that's my last time saying it that way, okay?
All right.
Because she told me, she said,
I'm a sponge.
I'm a sponge.
I'm just absorbing.
There you go.
That sounds better.
That sounds so much better. So I'm a sponge, and that's what I want. I want to learn from you. I like your energy. I like what you bring to the table, and wherever you go, I want to be a part of it. People to People is definitely available for you to anytime you let me know. We make it. You're gonna come in. I appreciate you coming today because she was scheduled another time and somebody got the date mixed up. I ain't gonna say who that was, but you decided to come on in. But again, you know, I just want to say thank you for that. So is it a message that you would definitely want to give out to some people right now?
I would just say, check your heart. Check your heart and give out of that, because there's someone waiting for you. There's someone, they're waiting for you. You know, not, oh, I'm waiting for Goodwill, or I'm waiting for Jeff Bezos. No, they're waiting for you. It's about, it's the small things. It's those small steps that we take. And so we have to be ready for the call. As small as it is or as big as it is. What are you willing to do? You know, they always tease me and say, Tanya, you're never tired, right? And I realize that my passion keeps me going. I actually don't get tired until I get home and get into bed.
Caller, please state your name and where you calling from.
Lisa Ekstrom, and I'm calling from Virginia.
How you doing, Lisa?
I am fine. I'm doing well. Thank you so much, Mr. Rodney.
Hey, and you know I'm excited that you called in because you know this young lady sitting in this chair here.
Of course I do know her.
So tell what is like when you're in her presence? What is it that she gives you?
Oh, the energy is wonderful. She is a kind-hearted person. Very, very instrumental in my life. I mean, my life, I think, has become more interesting since I met her. I think I have known her for a while, but we have really connected in this new season that we're in. We have really connected at another level. I have really grown to understand her and know her heart for real, for real. You can come in contact with somebody but not really know their heart. And the more time that I spend with her, I'm getting to understand her and know her heart. And it is very, very, it's a kind heart. It's a gentle heart. And I am really attracted to people that is gentle, compassionate, and kind.
Yeah, well, you know what? You know,
Thank you, Lisa.
I'm in the same situation. The more and more I'm around her, you know, I'm starting to see her heart and understand her. But you know something, she attracts other people with good hearts like yourself. We're gonna have Lisa on the program too. Don't think you won't get away, because Lisa's also got something that she's doing that we're gonna have to talk about as well. So you know, definitely, we definitely, and that's what we do. We first give honor to God and just say thank you.
Oh yes, most definitely, yes, because He is the Creator. He is our Creator, you know, He is our lead. So it's a privilege. It's really truly a privilege to work with Miss Tanya and to be around her, to be in her presence. It's really a privilege. It's a privilege.
I can second. You know, if they say they need to get the second, how do you say it?
Second it.
Yeah, I second it. I raised my hand. As a matter of fact, I raised both of them because I wanted to count more than one time. But thank you so much for calling in, Lisa. I appreciate you so much, sweetheart.
Thank you, Lisa.
God bless you all. God bless you and Dina. God bless you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We love you, Lisa.
All right.
So this is what's up. And I got 5 minutes left.
Oh, you still talking with me?
No. Oops. I just cut her off. I didn't mean to do that. Lisa, I didn't mean to do that. I know you watch. I love you. But I need Tanya to have that last 5 minutes because we're not going to really, I don't want to go over. But you got 5 minutes. I don't care what you want to talk about or how you want it, whatever message is yours.
No, I appreciate the platform. I appreciate my new family. I appreciate everyone I come in contact with. It is an honor to serve. A long time ago, I was in church, and someone came and gave me a book, and they wrote in it, and they said, "You will always meet God at your place of servitude," right? One time I was in church, I was in the kitchen, I was washing dishes and everything, and we had a prophet that came in, and they all of a sudden ran in the kitchen and was like, Tanya, come in, right? I mean, I literally had on gloves, right? And so I take that to heart, that I will never give up serving, right? Because that is the place, the true place that I'm going to hear his voice, that people are going to find me, you know, and there's the connection, right? I never want to be too big that I can't do it myself. You know, they tease me. This is the most dressed I am. I'm usually in a snowsuit, right?
Yes.
I'm going to drive the 26-foot truck. I'm going to wrap the truck. I'm going to do whatever it takes until the last person eats, until the last person is trained, until the last person is clothed, you know, because, and the reason for the wraparound service is because I can get you a job, but you might not have a place to live, or you might not have clothes, or you might not have furniture, right? The other thing that we want, Stat DC is going to do, is we're going to partner and do a toy giveaway. And so how we're going to set that up is we're going to have the parents come in, because again, I am so interested in keeping their dignity, that they'll come in on one side, show that they have their kids, and they'll be escorted by one of the elves and pick their toys, right? They'll take their toys, and one of the elves will wrap them, so that when they come home, and even if they brought their kids will go into another room where there'll be some other small toys, XYZ, but they'll be able to put that gift under the tree for themselves, right? That's all I care about. And again, you probably can tell people who have passion have been through, right?
Yeah.
So I've been hungry before.
Right.
I've had, a Christmas that my kids didn't have, or XYZ. I vowed that it would never happen. If you're around me, we were getting excess food before, and I would take it home, and my husband would get upset, and I would go buy another freezer, and he's like, "That's enough." But people would come to my house, and you shop. So it's never for me. It's, the car that you drive is really not yours.
Right.
Because at any given time, God will say, give it to so-and-so. And we just have to be obedient and understand that bigger and better is coming. So even when it comes to this, the location, I told you, I'm Team Jesus. Something is going to come out. Something is going to manifest, and I'm not worried. I sit here and say, I'll just wait, and I'm okay with that.
I appreciate you coming in. I appreciate you taking the time to come out. Please, I want you to promise that you'll come back where we're really going to be able to sit down and talk more. You got something for me over there, Lady Z?
Yes, Penny Frazier says, thank you for all you do. She says, hello to all. I'm sorry I missed the opening remarks. Do your guests employ people? If so, where?
Not yet. Not yet. It's coming.
So, but as far as like the volunteering part, they can volunteer though.
They definitely can. Again, because we're in transition, and once I have a place, you definitely can reach out to me and help out. Definitely, we would welcome all assistance, because again, like-minded. The Bible says iron sharpens iron, right?
Yes.
And they call me the disciplinarian there, right? But I'm very structured, only because at the end of the day, it's about that person. It's never going to be about the volunteers or this organization. It's never going to be about that.
It's about
It's like outward look at all times.
My thing is, I always say, it's not about me, it's not about you, but it's all about us. That's what I always say. Thank everybody that joined in. We appreciate it. People with Rodney Grimes. My guest, the beautiful Tanya Whitaker. Y'all join in. I will have my guest coming back. I say happy Thanksgiving. And before I go, I got to say this. Tomorrow is my beautiful wife's birthday. Happy birthday to my wife, Zena. Tomorrow is also our wedding anniversary. We got married on her birthday. Yay. So we're going to be celebrating that as well. So 14 years together, 5 years married. I'm telling you, God is good because I've been blessed. Amen. I send peace and blessings to you as well. Y'all have a good evening. Thank you.
How was it?
Excellent. So you gonna come back?
Yeah, I'll come back. I don't know where to look. You didn't